Good morning, I'm Jeannine.
And I'm Kris, and welcome to the Blue Fiber Tree.
Yeah, oh my God, can you believe it? It's the end of March already. It's the 26th.
Thank you, Jesus. Sweet hallelujah. I am done with winter.
Yeah.
I love winter. I really do. But now I'm done. Because Mother Nature waited until March to go, hey, Ohio, I'm going to show you what winter's really about.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And even though it's officially spring, it's just super cold out there. I told Bob the other day, Mother Nature needs to take a Midol.
She does.
Get off the bus. Do
Please,
something.
please. I'm tired of having to turn on my heat an hour before I have to start dyeing in my studio because I might have forgot to shut off water last time and my pipes froze. So I got a heater under there. I got the heat going in the studio, and yeah. Well,
Yeah.
So I need spring. I don't even care if it's like 60. Just give me like 50.
Yeah. Yeah. Level out.
That's it. That's it. I don't need this 2068. Like, she got some issues, that Mother Nature.
Needs to level out.
We have a lot of stuff happening.
We do.
Like, I know we still have March, a couple of days, whatever.
And April is packed.
But April is going to be, like, if you could see the piece of paper in front of her.
I can't even put a second month in the same column as April.
No, because it's like, I have no idea how that happened.
And then I kept forgetting to put stuff in, and then I kept adding stuff, and then you kept adding stuff, and it's
and
like,
I think part of it's because we have those 2-part classes that we're
Yes.
starting, the series classes, and I think that's fabulous.
yeah.
So what do we start our world with, like finishing up March? We're gonna finish up
March.
Okay.
So on the 29th, we have core spinning from 5 to 8. So tell us about
love
core spinning.
So core spinning, these are samples, pardon my tags. These are samples of core spun yarn. The one on the top is a little bit thinner. The bottom is a little bit chunkier. To take core spinning, obviously you have to have had beginner spin.
Mm-hmm.
Please God, know how to draft a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if you struggle with drafting, this is a good class to get your drafting under control, because we draft differently. We do. We draft differently in the class, but it helps you separate fibers. Ignore the ding in the background. This one was not my fault. Cameraman Bob's got his own thing going on today. Usually it's me.
Today
This
it's
time
Bob.
it's him, and I'm okay with that, and he's making faces at me.
But the drafting is a little bit different than your standard drafting when you're doing
No, it
yarn.
is. But the thing that I tell people that it actually will help them with their regular spinning a little bit is because when you're drafting for these, like, you're learning how to separate those fibers a little bit better.
Right.
Because you need to widen your fibers out and not have them come to these tiny little points. Because if they come to tiny little points when you're drafting, you end up with this bubbly yarn of core spinning. I mean, it's still pretty. It's just not technical core spinning. But, so a lot of people, wait for the class. Prerequisite of beginner spinning, and you need to have a large orifice
on
your wheel, because this is not going through a regular orifice. And when you first start core spinning, you're either going to be super, super tiny
Or super big.
or super big. You won't be in this in-between stage.
Right.
But a lot of people don't realize that there's a ton of uses for the core spun yarns. I fell in love with it pretty immediately because I love to weave. So it's great for weaving, both on your rigid Heddle. Well, not just both. On your rigid Heddle, on your tri-loom, tapestry weaving. I use a ton of it. Like, my favoriteest place to put it is my tri-loom, because when I'm doing my fun ponchos, I put them in the actual tri-loom, but then I use like the thicker one here. This has a little more bobbly bits and fun going on in that. I put them and I make a crocheted collar on them, and they're just like,
they're really cool.
someday I'm actually going to make one for myself instead of make them and sell them. But yeah, so there's a lot of uses for core spun, and it's really a fun class. And the other part of core spun that it became an added bonus, that when I first started learning core spinning, I was like, oh my God, this is going to eat up all my fiber. It does not. You think it's going to, but I can actually spin more yarn from a core spun bat than if I tried to do thick and thin.
Right.
I get so much more yarn, and it's fabulous. And we actually, like, the center, like when you're spinning core, you actually have to have a strand of something that you use as core. Some people use like that crochet cotton, which I have tried, and I'm not a fan. Like, it does grab the yarn,
but it's thicker than what we typically use.
it just feels weird in my hands. We use a lace weight mohair, and it's awesome because if you've ever seen, the lace weight mohair, a lot of you will hold it together to knit with or crochet, and it just has those little halo of fiber, and it just grabs up that stuff. And the other thing I will tell you, in preparation for core spinning, practice slow feet.
Yeah.
That's the best advice I can give you. But it's a very fun class, and I love it. I hope a lot of you decide to join us.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and then you can do so much more with it, and you'll see later.
Yes.
On the 31st, we have a Skill Builders spinning from 11 to 3, which means that's
no.
That's a Friday. What?
That's when Laura's coming to play.
Her best friend.
My best friend hates me. She took spinning to make sure that she was supporting my endeavors as a teacher. And
she's allergic to wool. So that was fun.
We have to use superwash things or acrylic. And she took the beginners class. It was fun. So she has decided that since she also took one of my dye classes and dyed some roving, which we're still to this day like, you don't even spin, why are you dyeing roving? But she is now going to spin the roving that she dyed at that dye workshop last summer, and I'm going to be like, oh, what a day.
And she's going to do it on the skill building day.
Because she did struggle in beginner spin. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe she'll spin on skill builders and go, oh, this isn't so bad.
No, I don't think so. Skill building is for anyone who really wants to know a very brief description of what that workshop entails. Is any class that you have taken from us in spinning and you're still struggling with a technique, you can come that day and Kris will help work through whatever issues you're having with your spinning technique, so that you can improve a single core spinning.
Yep. Those of you that just took my ply classes, I had a ply class not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. If you're struggling with that chain plying, if you're struggling with spiral plying, whatever that is, come in, bring your fibers that you need to do the technique that you're struggling with, and we're going to get through it together. Yeah. I'll help you maybe learn different ways to hold your hands, move your feet, different ways to hold the fiber, or maybe it's just the angle at which you're holding the fiber. Simple little things can give really big light bulb moments. So
this is your opportunity to come in and, have a specific thing you need help with. Now,
we're going to 3-hour class?
It is 4.
All right. So you get 4 hours of my undivided attention, with the exception of unless there's other people in the class beside you. But it's literally me going from wheel to wheel, making sure that we're finding our grooves. We want successful spinners. Right. That's the biggest part, because if we don't have successful spinners, we're not doing our job.
Right, and that's also where you can come in on those open spinning days, and you can have work on it more, which the next day, April 1st, actually happens to be the first Saturday of the month, and that's open spinning from 10 to 1. So come and work on it on Friday. Take that 4-hour session, do whatever, try to improve. And then if you, come back on Saturday, get some sleep, rest, come in.
Sleep. What's that?
On Saturday and try it again. And then the second and fourth Mondays also from 5 to 8 is also open spinning.
Yes.
We offer a lot of opportunities for you to come and practice.
Absolutely. And there's so much fiber on the wall, guys.
Yeah.
Listen,
and if
I got your basics covered.
If she's not here, I'm here.
Yeah. And if I'm not here, usually it's the evening ones that I struggle with sometimes. Usually I can make it to 1, but that silly salon business still gets in the way just tiny bit, but I'm working on it. Trust me.
Tiny bit.
Tiny bit.
All right. So now we're into April.
Ready?
So April 5th, we actually have 2 workshops on that day.
Same day?
On the 5th. So I'm teaching basic needle felting, where you're going to take fluff like this, which is the core wool, and I'm going to show you how to create a cone. I'm going to show you how to create a ball, okay? And with this being said, you know, we have all of our felting tools. Stop. On, where's my date? Da, da, da. Where are you?
She doesn't even know what
On
she's
the
looking at.
15th. I was looking for the date. We're going to take this guy and make him this guy dryer balls. I'm going to show you how to make dryer balls. So, you know, those of you that are drying them for an obscene amount of money on the internet,
I mean, they're obscene.
you can make your own for like half the price.
Yeah. And is that also the day you get to make faces on those?
Yeah, you can decorate them however you want.
Yes.
So, yeah.
We're going to do frogs and all sorts of cool stuff.
She's going to do that. Core wool, we sell this in 4-ounce balls.
Yeah.
And it's $10. And you can get about 4 of these out of a 4-ounce ball.
And on the internet, these tend to be $6 a piece sometimes. I've seen them 6 dryer balls for $52. I've seen 6 for $48. It's like the only place that I ever see these reasonable is when you're at a fiber show.
Correct.
It's about the only time I see dryer balls that I would even bother to buy. But I'll be honest, I wouldn't buy them because I would just go, Jeannine, could you felt me some dryer balls? But I'm not allowed to have dryer balls because my husband pulls them out of the dryer and throws them away. I'm done. I tried for like a year and I'm done.
So we were talking about this earlier. We have a set of dryer balls at home. How long have we had those that you've been using them? 2 years? And he said the only thing is that they've shrunk in size a little bit, only because after washing they felt down more. But they really do work. They really do work. So there's that.
Can I?
Yes.
When you pull the thing off of your little thing and it wasn't quite a ball and it wasn't quite a cone, what is it?
So
she can't do that to me.
Well, I was messing around with trying to figure out how to do kind of an egg, but allow it to sit. So that's why. So I started to do a cone, but made it more oval.
All right.
And then I flattened the bottom so it would sit. That's what that was.
Aren't you special?
Huh?
A hard-boiled egg.
Hard-boiled egg, yeah.
That's perfect.
So
you can't pull stuff out and then not show it. My ADHD won't allow it.
So this is several layers of core on top because when you first start, it's a lot smaller than that. But my new technique that I will show you when we do the dryer balls will make these quicker.
Perfect.
And I did it when we did the needle felted gnome, and I thought Carmi was going to go, oh, yay, I don't have to use
no more sticks. That's awesome.
And then on the 5th at 5:30, you're teaching a basic knots macrame workshop.
I am. And I love basic knots. It is a simple 2-hour class.
Yep.
It's like, what, $25, $35? I don't know,
whatever.
somewhere around there. It's not a very big expense.
Yeah, I think it's $35 plus a skein of the practice cording that we have.
Yeah, the practice cording. So you don't actually leave with a project, but all of the knots that are in this project from the full beginners macrame class, you learn how to do these knots in that basic knots class.
Yep.
So, and the reason we created the basic knots class is because we had quite a few people state that, God, I really don't want to make wall hangings, but I want to do some of those other advanced projects.
Right.
How can I participate in the advanced projects, but not do that? I was like, well, we'll create a basic knots class. Thanks, Abby.
Yeah, but it really helped because really, if you don't want to do a wall hanging, but you need the skills to do the advanced projects, well, then you have that.
Yeah.
And our thing is practice, practice, practice.
Please practice.
On the 6th, the very next day,
Yeah.
We have beginners spinning from 5 to 8. And then 2 weeks later on the 20th, you will come back and do your second session where you will ply your spun singles in together or with a separate thread.
I am super excited for that day.
Why?
because Marie
Oh, I know.
is taking Beginner's Spin with me, and she loves art yarn.
Yes.
And I cannot wait to teach her like every single solitary bit of the world of art yarn that I know. And I'm sure there's more out there that I don't know because I'm always learning. But I mean, I'll be sad because she'll no longer be buying my art yarns.
Yeah.
Because she loves my art yarn. But I am excited to teach her how to get to where I'm at. Like, and she has such a creative mind that I'm sure she's going to surpass my skills in art yarn in no time.
Yeah.
And I'm just...
She makes a lot of hats and she sells them. She gets commissions for, I love the hat you're wearing. Can you make me one? She's her best advertisement.
I know.
She does a great job. She just takes all these fibers that you would think, what are you doing? And she creates these fabulous hats. And she's always putting crystals or beads or something in them. They've got some kind of a bling.
Oh, she's all about the bling.
She's all about the bling. And
we're going to have to teach her the blending board so she can blend some Angelina into some fun stuff.
And I'll tell you what, there isn't a day that she walks in the store that she doesn't have a hat, a headband, or something. It's either something she has made or she's taken a store-bought and she has embellished it.
Yeah. She's one of my favorite people.
Yeah, she's the hat lady.
I love her so much. So I'm super excited about that specific beginner's class.
She's actually has taken up spinning because she's actually using it as a therapy technique for the people in the nursing home where she works. So so she's teaching them how to spin.
I freaking love it.
You didn't know that?
No. So she had said that she goes, I've been doing a little bit of spinning. She goes, but I probably need to take like your beginner's class so that maybe I catch the things that I'm not doing and I can get better. And I was like, absolutely. Yeah. So I did not know that.
Yeah, it's fun. So someone donated a wheel to her, and then I had a wheel that someone donated to me that I gave to her so she would have 2 wheels for that purpose. And so so she's having fun.
My heart, that makes me want to find all the wheels and go, how many more wheels do you need for the old people? Let me help.
Stop. Old
I love
people.
her.
You're gonna
I'm going to be old someday. Somebody's going to have to reteach me all this because I'm going to forget.
And no.
No, Lexi's going to throw me in a shed.
On the shed.
She's going to throw me in the shed.
Wow, you're busy. On the 7th, you have Spinning with Intention. She's going to teach you how to do lock spinning. And a thick single, and this is one of those intentional workshops where 2 weeks later I'm going to show you how to knit a hat that the 2 of us collaborated on and designed. So
these right here, these are the locks. We will have I have 4 different colorways that I'm doing. These are the locks, and then the thick single I'm showing you is technically not from the series. No. But I just wanted to show you, like, a thick single is where this one hasn't been set yet. So you see how thick this is. All of this on the brim of the hat and everything on the very top is all of that thick single work. And it just teaches you how to make, like, some really cool things. For those people that, 2 things. For those people that don't want to make the hat, you can just do the lock spinning class and learn how to spin locks and learn how to focus on a thick single. Thick singles are fabulous for 2 reasons. 1, you create your own bulky. Yep. Okay. But 2, if you ever take or learn how to do coils and super coils, thick singles, when you super coil, are magnificent. Yep. They really, like, there's nothing in the world like it. Right. Like, I love them.
The spinner who only wants to learn how to do the lock spinning for other projects, not necessarily the hat, take the class.
Yeah.
It's not just specifically to make a hat, it's to learn that technique as well.
Those locks, so the locks come in handy, not just like for this, but we put locks in weaving projects of all kinds. Again, lock spun stuff, that they make great cuffs on
Yes.
sweaters. They make great cuffs on gloves. They
It's
make
just-
great bands on, like,
It's a detail thing.
yeah, and it just, like, how funky are you, really, you know?
Mhm.
Some more conservative people might look at those locks and go, I don't need all that. But then there's crazy people like me that are like, give me all the fun stuff.
Now, I
So.
will tell you, in the first design phase of this hat,
The hat weighed 97 pounds?
Stop.
No, it weighed 97 pounds.
She won't let me finish today.
Okay, finish.
So we started out with this, and we started out with her casting on and doing it, and it was so tight. I couldn't get it on my head. So
That's so funny.
we talked about it, and I ripped it out, and I started again using the same needle size, same stitch count, and I did the same rows.
Yeah.
And then I switched to the larger needle and doing the locks. I had to rip it out because the needle was too small, so I went up to another size, and I finished the hat. And I told her, says, you're not going to like this.
She goes, but I'm going to show you anyway. I'm
I'll
like,
show you
oh, it
anyway.
can't be that
'cause
bad.
We can rip it out and do it again.
Yeah.
So it was way too big for her head. Okay. But it's just,
But heavy.
that's how we knit. She's a
Yeah.
tighter knitter, cast on knitter than I am.
It's because I'm afraid I'm going to drop my needles
You're
because
not
of my
gonna
bad
drop your
hands.
needles.
Mm.
But this, when you do the entire rest of the hat with locks, it was so heavy.
I was like, there has to be a better way. We got to figure this out.
Yep. So she sat there and
Yeah. And we talked it out, though.
we did, and I ripped out the locks,
Thank God.
and she restarted the band. You added a couple extra rows, I think, and then
I did.
decreased and increased and all that fun stuff. But we shortened the amount of the hat that is locks and
Yes.
finished the top with the single. It's better now.
Yeah. And this hat has been tried on by like 17 people
Yeah. So
because
good.
the day we had it in here, a lot of people were like, let me see that hat. I really like that hat. Oh, I need to see that hat.
Take a picture of me with this hat.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. And then this one lady, Lee, she was like, I need to see that hat. So she puts it on, goes and looks out. Oh, it even looks good on a blonde. Oh, and then she comes out and she's like, so, and she takes the hat off and she flips it and holds it down here and she's like, could you make a crossbody bag with something like this? I go, well, you could. And she goes, no, like a convertible hat. And I go, well, wait a minute, what? So now I am designing the hat into a convertible purse bag with a detachable strap. And I can't wait to see how it turns out. But I was like, I mean, that's going to cost you like $150. She goes, I don't really care. Can you make that happen? I was like, yeah. So funny how our little hat project has turned into multiple things. But
It's the versatility of what you can do with this kind of yarn.
what I am going to tell you, come Great Lakes, we will have the pattern for sale. Not too bad. I have the pattern for sale, and we'll have locks and thick single yarn that you can purchase if you would like to make your own.
Yeah.
We like the hat pattern.
We do. Excuse me. So, on the 21st, 2 weeks later, after the spinning workshop,
That's when the hat is.
I will be here to teach people how to do the hat if they need any help with it. We'll have yarns for those of you who are not spinners.
Yes.
We'll have, I want to say kits, but she doesn't want to say kits, but we'll have the yarn here for you to pick out the colorways that you want so that you can do the hat. And I will tell you right now, it's a size 11 and 17 knitting needle is what you're going to need. So, yeah, so that's what we're
16-inch
doing.
circular?
16-inch circulars
And
and then
double
double
points?
points in the 11s when
At
you
the
get to
end.
the top.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So, it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see what everybody comes up with.
Denise Stoner said she wanted to do the hat.
Oh, I'm sure she does.
I'm like, okay.
But you have to have orange and black.
I will make orange and black specifically for one person. I hate dyeing black.
We'll get close to it as you can. They're from Maslin, so it's the high school
I
colors.
know. And anything they wear, they like to showcase and support
They
their
do.
team, which I
They do
think
very
me
well.
with sports, I think that's awesome.
That's great.
So what's after that?
On the 8th, which is Saturday, we have a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Every single day that week is all workshops. So rigid Heddle basics from 10 to 3.
Nice.
People are already starting to sign up. I only have 2 spots left if you want to join.
So sign up, because Jeannine also just finished the part 2 of a different intention series we did, where we spun some art yarn and then we came and we put it into a scarf that we made, and she taught what is that stupid warp called?
Clasped warp.
This is why she teaches that. Yeah, clasped warp, which can be a little tricky, but so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
They did such a good job in that class. So everybody taking that basic class, you can then come back to learn all the fun stuff later.
Yeah. And we are offering advanced techniques. You know, we have the standard ones that we teach. You know, if you want to do it, let me know, that kind of thing. But we're going to try and do more and more things, incorporating art yarns and doing all this other stuff. The class warp was just the beginning of all that, and wait until you see. Now, I did one on my own just to see how difficult it is to do it by yourself, but figured it out and let those guys know that day how they can do it themselves. There is a technique to it, but it can be done. And I'm almost done with that scarf. When I get done, I'll show it to you next time.
Okay.
Because I use black and gold as my warp colors.
She better be giving that to a Steelers fan.
I know. Because the other colors aren't really Steelers colors, but it's going to showcase the yarn that I used.
Okay. I can't wait to see.
Yeah. And you're going to be able to very truly see where the black and the gold did this thing in the warp. It is fun. And the color choices, Denise did not use black and cream.
She didn't, and that's fine. I told you, they can make it however. You got to make it yours.
She used an olive green and a cream as her 2 warp colors. Is beautiful.
So pretty.
Yeah, and she was well on her way when she left here. She chose the teal colors, where Jim chose the silver gray. He's yet to start his because he's got other things on his loom.
Well, you know, he's the never-ending weaver over there. He's amazing. And then Nancy Forrester, when we were doing her class warp, oh my goodness, it was so funny. I was like, "Hey, you're pulling. Hey, stop!" I felt like you when you were yelling at me when we were doing the practice one.
Yeah,
she kept pulling. However, what worked out really neat is, so on the one that we did, like where our black and white combined, it just kind of went up a little and down a little, like this. Nancy's, because of our tug of war, her cream, like her black came almost like this far to the end, just on one little side.
Yeah.
But then the cream came up way high up here. So it kind of like does this type of thing. And I was watching her weave, and I'm like, oh my God, that's really
That's kind of cool, because that makes it so that you have these triangles then in your...
Oh yeah. No.
There's so much
I can't wait to see her thing. I can't wait to see it finished.
Yeah.
When both of them get finished with theirs, and maybe we'll even wait for Mr. Stoner to finish his, we'll get pictures of them, and we'll just do we'll put a post up on Blue Fiber Tree of their scarves so you can see what they did, because they're all going to be...
They're going to be so different.
So unique. And I love, that's what I love about teaching the way that we teach, is you get to be you, no matter what you make.
And understand, Nancy's the only one who actually spun her own yarn. Kris spun the yarn for Jim and Denise to use, and they thought it was fabulous. You know, so you don't have to be a spinner to do the end product that we're doing the intention thing. So we want you to understand that up front. Your spinners, you're going to learn a lot of new techniques.
Yep.
And anyone else, whatever the end product is, you don't have to be a spinner to do it, because we're going to make sure we have it.
Our 2 weavers learned new stuff.
They did.
You know, they learned the class warp. B, they started working with like art yarns and thicker yarns, and they get to see what that does to a project that they're making.
Right.
So,
and it's so hard for some people when you say, you can do whatever you want. You can change colors as often as you want. You want to put these down here and those up there. Do whatever you want. But it's yours. You can customize it to make it a you product. You can do whatever you want.
Some people are so like pattern followers and direction followers that when things are not written out, their brain like...
Yeah, and I was that way. And then I finally went,
She's
after about
really
10 or
good.
15 hats, I went, you know what, screw this. I can do whatever I want.
do whatever I want. It's my stuff. So what's next after basic rigid?
Where are we
Heddle?
at?
I can't
You know
talk.
what? We're done, because that puts us into the next
Awesome.
the next day when we film, which happens to be
Perfect.
Easter Sunday, which is the 9th. So yeah.
Perfect.
So there you go. So,
Okay.
you know what? So where was that? Where did I miss that? How did I miss that? Oh, that's because it's in March. We did that in March.
Oh. She thought this was coming up, but we already did it.
We already did
But
it.
this is one of those, so for those of you basic knots though,
Yeah.
if you don't want to make wall hangings, this little project bag, this is one of the classes that it'll come up again.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those classes that you can do if you've had the basic knots class.
Yep.
And it's just a neat little project bag, you know. And this teaches you the basics so that you can make a bigger one if you want to. That was a fun class.
Yep.
But
So yeah.
so today, after we're done here, are you doing a video?
I am. I'm actually going to show the technique, that new technique that I use for starting your needle felted balls and cones. So this is the thing that you're going to learn when we do on the 15th of April, when we actually do the dryer balls.
Okay.
This is how we're going to start, and this way there's a video up on the blue fiber tree that you can go back and reference and see what it's like. This isn't going to take very long. I'll be surprised if it's like 10 minutes. That's
Okay.
too long.
And
So yeah.
one of these days I will separate all the rest of those videos for the how-tos, so you don't have to go back to
For short videos,
our full
yeah.
videos. I'll find the shorts of them and get them
Yeah.
up.
Absolutely.
They're still on my phone, because when I switched my new phone, the Verizon guy was like, "You have 80,000 messages to transfer." And I went, "Okay." And he goes, "And why do you have 23 gigs of video on your phone?" I go, "That's content." I sounded really important for a minute. I was like, "That's content." And he was like, "Content for what?" And I go, "The blue fiber tree, like we do like fiber videos." And he goes, "I don't even," kid's 25, "I don't even know what that is." And I go, "Oh, it's a lot of fun, don't you worry." He was like, "Yeah, you might want to take those off your phone someday." So he was not real happy that it took like an hour and a half to transfer my phone.
Right. And she can take those off someday.
I can. I got
Yeah.
the little thing.
She does.
So,
All right. Well,
all right. That's it?
busy. Guys, go check out the homepage of the website at longtailknits.com.
Yes.
You're going to see that entire schedule for April.
Yes.
It's a busy month, seriously busy. I would suggest call early for any of the workshops that you want to do. Some of those are going to fill up fast, and we need to make sure that we have enough of whatever materials we need to have available for you to do the workshop. So
Yeah.
we have to have time. Okay, can't stress that enough.
Especially if I have to dye locks.
Yes. Like and share this video. Tell your
Subscribe.
friends. Subscribe. Oh, and I hope you got to see the blue fiber tree on New Day Cleveland.
Oh my God.
Longtail Knits.
Longtail Knits.
On New Day Cleveland.
Yes. I will go search out the link. So when this posts, we'll put a link to that.
Yep.
In the description down below, so that you can go watch us be superstars.
Yeah, because that
Jeannine.
that aired on the 21st at the 11 o'clock show.
They were so
She's
much
in there
fun.
too.
Like,
Yeah, we had a great
That's
time.
fine. No, it was just great. I loved Kristen and George so much.
Yeah, we had a great day.
Yeah, you'll see.
We'll
I don't
see.
think you'll get to see George in the videos, but George like kept going, "So wait, this makes yarn?" "Oh well, yeah, you got to spin it." He's like, "You're gonna have to show me how to do that." I go, "Gladly." And then next thing I know, I'm mic'd up, and I'm like, "I don't want to be mic'd up."
But she did good. We
All
had
right.
fun. So yeah, we're gonna go because we got to do this yet.
Yep.
So,
Part 2 coming your way momentarily. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Alrighty, so as promised, we're going to show you a new technique for making circles and cones, okay? So we're going to take about an 18-inch piece of core wool, and I'm going to split this in half. I am going to first show you how to do a ball. So when you do the ball, this is so cool, guys. Watch this. You make a knot and you pull it. You don't want it super tight because you don't want to, you don't want to tear it. And for the ball, we're going to do it again.
It is not that easy.
It is that easy. Are you ready? And then I'm just going to take a little bit like this. And always be on a surface to protect your needles if they should hit something.
You're such a genius.
Do you see how fast this is?
That is not the way we used to make those.
It is not.
Like, it used to take like hours and
Yes.
hours just to get the center of the ball.
You know, this already has a nice feel to it. It has enough of a density in the middle that I don't have to sit there and roll all the air out. Doesn't matter. You still want to make sure that you go all the way around. You don't want to concentrate in one area. If you do, you're going to get a flat spot. You don't want a flat spot. So all I'm doing is needle felting and compressing and getting the air out of my fiber, because that's what felting does. All right, so
that's awesome. So if you keep going like that,
you keep going like this, and this is where the initial shaping also, okay?
Yep.
So the initial shaping into whatever you are making, and in this case we're doing a circle or a ball. Okay.
I like how you're just kind of rolling it. Like you're literally just, you keep moving and finding a new space.
Yes. Like I said, you need to do that because you're going to find the puffy areas. You can see it.
Yeah.
This right here needs to be felted down.
Okay.
So you just keep doing that. And your hands are going to tell you where you need to be. Your eyes are going to tell you where the fiber's poking up. That kind of thing. All right. So once you get that down... All right, and this is where the pen style 3 needle tool is really going to be the best tool to use for this. And I have yet to hit my foam, but it's there to protect the surface just in case. Okay.
And notice, guys, like while she is, moving decently fast, she's not going at lightning speed so that she does not puncture her fingers and need the first aid kit.
Correct. Because this is big enough, I can hold it with my fingertips and just roll it around and be, away from it. There you go. That's the initial. Then I'm going to break it down. Now this is where you just start doing the original wrap it around, change directions, cover your ball. And if you do thin layers and needle felt down a thin layer at a time, you're going to keep your shape. You will needle felt faster, especially when you're doing shapes like this. And it'll be so much quicker to get your desired shape. It'll be so much quicker to actually create that for a dryer ball. Now, when I did this one, I did not do it this way. And it took me an hour to do. This is probably going to take half an hour to do.
Like to fully finish it, yeah.
The core is already so much bigger.
Okay. Is it by doing those knots?
By doing the knots.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So there you go. So this here, and this is how quick you can make some of those basic shapes that you need to do. Okay. So just keep rolling it. And, sit in front of the TV, listen to music, don't look up because you don't want to stab yourself. But this is how you're going to quickly create
That's awesome.
any of those shapes that you need. So this just needs more work of doing and adding more fiber to get to this. This is a 3-inch ball when you measure it this way. But that's the dryer ball size, so a lot less if I wanted to do this.
That's awesome.
Now, to do a cone. You ready? So, same fiber. We're going to start with a knot. Less fiber this time. So now what I'm going to do is I'll leave half of it alone. And I'm going to take this And I'm just going to start rolling it and start that shape of a cone.
And it's wrapped around your knot?
It's wrapped around my knot.
Okay.
So there's the knot.
Yep.
There's the tail, the other half. Okay. So, you know, some people would call this free-form shaping, but most of your needle felting is free-form anyway. But you get to determine the shape. So now, instead of having a ball, I have that. You ready? Flip it around. Wrap it around the base, because the base is bigger than the top. So now I'm going to start defining this part here, okay? So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to start shaping my bottom. I need a flat bottom for the cone to stand. And again, you're going to roll this around. Keep moving it, pick it up, move it to define that shape. Don't stay in one spot, because you're going to get a flat edge if you do. This end we want flat. See, I'm already starting to shape the cone.
That's awesome.
Okay, look, I have a baby cone. So I'm going to take some more fiber. I'm going to split this in half because it's too much to use all at once. And I'm going to continue to wrap around the base. And now I'm going to start shaping the top of my cone like this. And you just keep adding.
When you're wrapping that around towards the top, are you pulling tight or are you not pulling tight?
I'm not pulling tight because I still want my fiber to be as thick as it is. I still need that density of the core wool.
Okay.
Okay. But I'm able to control how I put it, where I put it. Now, when I go this way, I'm actually pushing it down from the top. When you do this, you're just condensing in that area. But if you push this way, or if you go that way, this way it's going to grow that way, this way it's going to shrink it in a little bit. But I'm trying to get that shape established.
When you shrink it in, do you mean the circumference or the height or both?
Oh, it changes the height.
Okay.
See, it's going down.
Okay.
But I'm also creating and shaping the tip that I need it to be.
She's making a mini Christmas tree, guys.
I am. But this is how you would start. This is how we did the gnome.
Okay.
This is how you would do the trees. If you're doing any other character that has a body shape like this, because you can build on these and you can make these anything that you want. But that's how you do it. And then you would just keep adding and condensing and getting it firm until it's like this. This is really firm. This is real squishy yet. It needs to be done more. Obviously, this is super soft. This is harder. Well,
and that's
not so much
just
that one,
more
this one.
time felting, right?
Correct.
It's the exact same things you've been doing, just...
You just add more fiber and continue to needle felt until it's as dense as you want it to be. I will tell you that if you're going to decorate or add a final layer of color, don't do it super hard because you won't be able to get that final layer or the colors in if you're going to be doing details, shapes, and colors.
And when you get the final layers in, then you can compact it, right?
Then you can do it to the point where you finish felting it so it's that smooth finish where the end goal is to get it so you don't see any holes from your felting needles.
Okay. That's awesome.
So there you go, guys. That is how you create those different shapes, and it's a lot quicker. It's more fun because you can get to the things that you want to do by doing your locks and your color detail and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully this has worked for you today. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and ask us. Like and share, and always these short videos like this, they're references for you for anything that we teach here in the store, and hopefully they do the job when I'm not around. Okay? You have a great one. Bye.